Now, I do want to bring up this thought, that concept brought up tonight, transparency. How important is being transparent with your children as a father?
I know I'm talking a lot, but
No, you good.
I think that is so important, Pastor Jay. Being transparent. The reason why you want to be transparent, you don't want your kids to make the same mistake that you made. So it's okay to tell your child, hey, I did this at this age, and I don't want you to make that same mistake. So being transparent and not having your child think you are goody two shoe or being more than what you really are. You know, it's important that we are transparent with our kids. We are, I think that helps break the mold of or helps guide them when we are transparent with them.
I want to take it a little deeper. Has your son or daughter ever seen you be emotional? I mean, cry, be angry, be sad. Has your child ever seen you be emotional? And how did that interaction play out when they saw you emotional in those ways?
Can you answer that, Jamal?
Absolutely can. Well, hold on. Let me just go back real fast.
We can't see you. Where's the light? We can't see you. Where's the light?
I'm driving, so I'm on the highway right now.
Okay, yeah. Okay, go ahead. We don't want you to catch no ticket.
Yeah,
go ahead.
And I see beers out here too. So, but one thing I would say is with transparency. Well, before I answer your question, Pastor Jay, is it's important to not just like, well, Pastor Nick, not just with following to things like to not repeat the same thing. Sometimes with transparency, as a son or as a father, I could be experiencing something and that I just need to understand, am I tripping or am I going through the same thing you went through? And so sometimes like just hearing that, dang, okay, I got this from you. Or, okay, well, this ain't just me that like I'm in the wrong place or the wrong position. I'm like probably right on time with the experience because I believe that all failures and all trials that we go through is not just like, oh, well, you're just a mess up. But to become like the father that my father has now become, I have to understand the trials and the things that he went through. So when I'm in this position, because we see perfection so much, it's like, okay, well, hold on, wait. When now my father opens the doors with transparency, it can let me resonate to be like, okay, I don't have to beat myself up. I don't have to self-sabotage myself. I'm right where I need to be. Not only that, going into now the emotional part, we already have a stigma on guys, on men, don't cry, don't do this, you can't say this. Well, me watching father with transparency, it almost releases me from the bondage of having to restrict my emotions, but it creates a safe place to where I can be, I can express myself. I can show vulnerability. You know what I'm saying? So even for myself, hello, Jeremiah. So even for myself with my own son, I remember, early on, I make it a point to be transparent in my emotions all the time. Oftentimes, my son always comes to me and he does things like wipe away my tears. Or he'll be like, oh, Daddy, is everything okay? And in that moment, instead of me just, oh nothing, I constantly let him know that I'm not the superhero. That I'm a human being. I hurt. I get tired. Like, I don't always have it figured out. Like, I don't know. Like, so in those moments of vulnerability when I'm going through, I constantly be transparent to my son, to my wife. I need them to know. My wife will tell you, she's right here too. Hey, I don't got it figured out. I'm still trying to figure out my way. Look, I'm really, really tired. Because usually when I say I'm tired, I still have like 90% left in me where I can still keep going. But No, baby. I'm like this. I'm letting you know this today is the day where it's nothing. But what that does is from the transparency, it creates first of all, a detailed and effective communication and understanding across the board within my household. And there's no confusion because I'm not bottling up everything. See, if I say, "Oh, I'm okay, everything cool," then I'm also lying at the same time.
Yes.
To a degree.
Yes. Yes.
And so, again, I'm not a superhero. So I need Jeremiah. Hold up. I'm sorry, y'all. I need my family to know, or what's going on, or hey, I need you to step in for me. You gotta be my strength today. You know what I'm saying? I'm communicating where I'm at. I'm being honest. Man, I'm struggling today. Da, da, da. And from all of that though, somebody said something.
No, we're listening. Go ahead.
No, we listen.
Oh, so from that, my wife, she knows where she's at. She don't have to jump the gun and start trying to be the man of the household because it don't seem like I got myself together. She understands exactly where I'm at. She understands my season or whatever it is. And then with that, with the transparency, it becomes contagious to where my wife becomes the same type of way to where she could have been very stubborn or very hard-hearted or not being open. Well, because I'm so transparent, she has no choice but to be transparent. It rubs off. It becomes like COVID. And then watch this. Not only that, also, it becomes so contagious to whatever room or environment or atmosphere that I enter in, people begin to gravitate and then they become contagious too. They just start opening up and they start, man, you know what? I don't know, something about being around you or something like that. It just made me want to be able to just share and just tell you about, man, what's going on, da, da, da. And then all of a sudden, now look at what transparency has done.
Wow.
That's all I have.
Man,
that's good, man.
Jamal, I love what you said about being transparent. How many men, and we have to be honest, how many of us are transparent? How many of us go to our wife or go to our children or, have that conversation? And I love what you said about it being, it's like a domino effect. If you transparent with your family can't help but to be transparent with you because you're the leader. Because if you say, listen, I'm going through this, I'm having a struggle in this. But a lot of times, men, we go and we crawl up in a shell. We don't tell nobody, and we just got all of this, and we have nobody to release it to. And God done put some people in your home to release it to, but we choose to keep it. But that I love what you said about releasing it, and we as men must release that thing. We have. I believe all of us have wives that we can go to and release what we're going through. We don't have to hold it in. We don't have to. It was a guy, a minister I was talking to today, and he was just saying how, I don't know if I can talk to her like that. I don't know if, and I'm like, but that's supposed to be your best friend. That's supposed to be the person that you can confide in. I don't know if I can tell her how I feel about her. What? That didn't make sense. But when you are transparent, it moves the entire house. The atmosphere should change because you are transparent, and everybody else, the son come and say, well, Dad, this is what I'm going through. Mom, this is what I'm going through. So I love what you shared tonight.
Can I add one more thing? My dad, my actual father is on the call today. And so I also want to bring up another transparency moment. So for at least about 10 years of my beginning of my life, I didn't know who my father was. Watch this. I, for the longest, thought my dad had nothing to do with me, right? But transparency came in effect. Well, first of all, I kept asking a lot of questions. I'm like, well, why I don't look like this person? Why my name is this and that? You know, I'm asking questions. But what I did was, as a child, was I was poking at transparency. I provoked the appetite for
Wow.
transparency to come forth.
Wow.
So watch this. Now my dad didn't know. So my mom ended up opening the door from transparency. Well, it was an encounter where I met my grandfather, and ended up releasing that, oh, this is your grandchild, da da da. Moving forward though, when I had the opportunity to actually talk to my dad did not know. That was something that my mom kept from my dad. So the picture for me that was painted was like as if my dad wasn't like he just went ghost. But when I first had the opportunity to talk to my dad, and he opened his heart to just be like, I didn't even get the opportunity to be able to be there when you were born. Like that peeled back so many layers of, man, I went all this time and we've missed so much between one another. But the missing piece was transparency, because we never knew. Neither one of us knew. So
Yeah.
what I love is through transparency, it also brings new opportunity. It brings new opportunities to restore what may have
Preach, Pastor.
a story that probably was written that just needed to be like, it gives you a fresh start or a blank start to recreate what can be the best thing that ever happened.
It's spiritual. It's spiritual. Remember, we said tonight, it's a spiritual thing. It is a spiritual thing. And once that spiritual mask has been uncovered, I mean, the child, I remember I said this night, Pastor Dunn said it too, the child is going to ask about the father. Eventually, that child is going to ask about their father. They can try to cover it up, but eventually the child is going to ask, where's my dad? Tell me about my dad. What happened with my dad? What's going on with my dad? What's up? Tell me about it. Because that child knows, there's an innate thing in that child that knows where the identity comes from. They're going to ask, where is my daddy?
And I also would just want to say, I don't know if you hit this point because I got on kind of late today, but I would also say, even for anybody who has children, or even if it was with you fathering your church, I go this route with it. And there are your children or your congregation that's not so receptive to your transparency, or now what you are now ready to be open about. I still encourage you to be father, to continue to do what a father does, and that's give identity. That's continue to be in a place to where you're always ready to be in a place about self-discovery, to be in a place to where you continue just to be father, just like our father is to us. Oftentimes we're not ready to do what God has already purposed for us to do, or what he keeps putting in our way to do, but just continue to be father. Just continue to always be there. Hey, I'll be there whatever my child needs. Yeah. So I encourage you guys just to continue to be father. And I